Big congrats there to Owen Wright, amazing stuff. And right now we do have our final underway. Gabriel Medina, the current world #1, taking on Kelly Slater, who I believe has already moved into second position. We'll let the boys take the call.
Thanks, Ronnie. We're that excited to get this one underway. Not wasting any time. World #1, Gabriel Medina, taking on #6 in the world, Kelly Slater. A huge matchup on paper. We just came off one of the wildest semifinals of all time, a 19.77 tiebreak situation with John Florence exiting out in the semifinals. Now the stage is set, the sun's back out. There's still some 8 to 10 foot waves coming through our lineup, and we'll wait for the opening exchange. Joe Turpel alongside former world champ Martin Potter as we assess this opening exchange. It's been tricky for competitors to figure out how to get around Gabriel Medina to get the first wave. What's your take on the positioning? How's this first wave going to go?
Well, you know, you just got to look at what Kelly did in that last heat. I mean, he let John have the inside. He let John have the first wave of the set. And then Kelly posted a 10 right behind. So Kelly's got his strategy. He's a smart guy. He's not going to play into Gabriel's hands. He's had Medina a few times and he's dealt with him. So it's, you know, he's going to stick to his guns. He's just come off the back of an incredible heat. So Kelly's got to settle himself down. He's got to just find that headspace again, that very similar headspace that he had at the beginning of that semi-final. There you see Kelly, 42 years young, 5'9", 159 pounds, from Cocoa Beach, Florida, ranked #6 in the world coming into this event. He is well and truly moved up the rankings, Joe.
A big switch for Kelly Slater, and you think about it, he hasn't really had a serious loss. I guess the biggest one would just be back to Jeffreys Bay, getting an equal 13th to Matty Wilkinson. A shock to see Kelly go down an event that he's dominated in the past, but you get 2 throwaway results. All of his other results this season are pretty solid.
Absolutely right, you know, and this is basically, you know, Kelly's sort of part of the year where he starts to get the ball rolling. You know, you look at J-Bay, Fiji, J-Bay, you know, here at Teahupo'o, then you go to California, you go to Trestles, an event that he's dominated. He just recently won the event in France, which is something that it's taken him a long time to do, yet to win Portugal. So, I mean, sorry, he has won Portugal. So he's pretty much won everything from now on in, and he's going to be feeling really comfortable coming out of this kind of form from here.
It's crazy when you look at stats, and well, at every venue on tour with Kelly Slater, but arguably the best, one of his stats is at lower trestles, where he's won so many times in the last 6 or 7 years. As you see the channel, nice and calm, preparing for a huge final clash. You see a beautiful rainbow in the mountains back there, where you can see the trade winds usually push those clouds up against those mountains, and the fresh water pours down these little valleys and creates these passes over thousands of years. And one of the greatest slabs was created, called Chopu, the Wall of Skulls, where we've now been able to honor some of the best surfers of all time. Kelly and Medina still waiting for their first wave, Potts.
Yeah, you know, look at the conditions, absolutely beautiful right now. Nice clean texture on the face of the water. We're just waiting for those sets to come through. They're still out there. We heard Kelly say that it sort of felt like towards the end of that heat there it started slowing down, but John's still got that bomb. He's still got a good score right at the end, and you know, a lot of people might have thought he got it. It was such a tight heat. They came out even Stevens tied, and it came down to the single highest scoring ride, which you do, and Kelly got the 10. So a super close heat there for Kelly, and you can see right now he's letting Gabriel Medina have that inside section. He's not playing into Medina's game plan, as we heard Bede say that he did. Put him out of position for his 2 best waves, and unfortunately didn't make them. So Kelly a bit smarter than that. We're going to see these guys both waited out.
That's right. Much different story on Medina's road to the final, taking out Pete Durbridge in the first semifinal. His quarter was against Kolohe Andino, where he was effective in surfing basically a 20-minute heat with them paddling up the reef. Medina was able to skip round 5. Same thing for Kelly Slater. So their fitness level is sky high. Their attention to detail is insane. To hear from Kelly, the way he describes every wave that he takes off on, he's always been really good at painting a solid picture on what he's doing inside of the tube. You
know, Kelly's like that. I mean, he remembers everything he does. He remembers how things felt. He remembers, you know, what position his body was in when he did that high line up and over the foam ball. You know, and that's something that he, you know, uses in different instances. When he finds himself in a situation, he clicks into that memory thing of, oh, I remember this, and then his body follows, you know, and it's unbelievable like that. We see a big set coming through. Both guys opting not to go that one. There's obviously still some bombs out there, Joe, if they're letting waves like that go by.
Such a beautiful sight, watching perfection roll by the channel. That's what the view looks like if you're sitting here in the channel watching the world's best compete. See these little waves on the inside. Some of the years we've been here, we'd be dying for sets like that. We've had some challenges over the years. It's always a gamble when you look at the ocean to see what's going to be in store. This one already marked as maybe the best one of all time, as we're still scoreless through the first about 9 minutes or so of this final. And now we're hearing some whistles from the channel.
That's exactly right. You know what that means, don't you? That means there's some bombs coming. Looks like Medina and Kelly a little too deep on that one. And wow, look at that thing there. So there's still some bombs out there. There's still going to be some big waves coming through. 26 minutes remaining. And I can't remember having a final heat restart. Have you? Can you remember, Joe?
It's been a while. We'll have to dig that one up. But we haven't had too many restarts today. Just that one a little bit earlier. But we've had a few on the opening day, even with the pumping swell here in Tahiti. So far, we'll see if we get another minute off the clock without a wave ridden, and it'll be up to head judge Richie Porta if he will reset the clock. Remember, against the Keat with Kolohe and Gabriel, they're out of position letting waves go by, so they didn't get a restart in that matchup.
And that one did go through the lineup where they should have been sitting. So, you know, it's touch and go. I reckon give them another 10 minutes. Let's see these guys have a full 35 minutes to, you know, show some of their stuff. But we can see some lines coming through now out the back there. And we've got a little bit of an advantage over these guys because we've got that view from the tower. So a little bit elevated so we can sort of see a little further out. These guys don't have that, you know, that luxury. They've got to rely on the action in the channel, the whistling, the shouting, the caddies telling him the second wave in the set. I'm sure these guys have been getting those kind of signals from the boats.
Well, Kelly used to work out a scenario on how many wins he thought it took to win a world title back in the day. As we hear the horn sound, it's official. We'll get a fresh clock for the final with no waves ridden. We'll be back to a 35-minute final in just a moment. Interesting, dramatic start, knowing that there's still some solid waves coming through, Potts.
Yes, exactly right. I'm glad we got that restart, Joe. We want to see a full 35-minute heat between these two guys. And then we have Gabriel Medina, ranked #1 in the world, coming into this event. He's going to stay there.
As he gets the first wave after the restart, Medina gets spit out. Timing the restart well. And now Kelly will have priority to try to answer back. We'll bring in the takeoff of Medina's opening ride. He's such a smart surfer at a young age. Always thinking about tactics on how he can take out some of the world's best.
Well, I tell you what, that's a good way to start, by making sure you're on the first wave. And a beautiful size wave here as Gabriel Medina pulls up nice and tight there, driving through the barrel. He's been doing that this entire event. He's been picking the eyes out of it. He's made very few mistakes. I can't even remember him wiping out on a wave, as we see the view the judges have. There he goes. He gets that first turn. He gets so much speed and direction off that opening, you know, bottom turn, or mid-face turn, I should say, and that just sets him so perfect for the rest of the wave. So Gabriel Medina draws first blood here in the finals of the 2014 Billabong Tahiti Pro. What an event we've had, and the cream pretty much has risen to the top, Joe.
Medina, remember, is only 20 years of age. He's already had some insane lifetime experiences. He had a final in pumping surf at the Fiji Pro, finishing runner-up to Kelly Slater last year. Kelly, we know his records, 54 career wins, the best of all time. He has plenty of room between him and Tom Curran. Back when he passed Tom, that was a huge feat. And I think his record's probably going to stand maybe forever, Potts.
Well, that's all we thought about Mark Richards, his record of the 4 world titles. And back in my day, it was like, oh, you know, my goodness, how do you win 4 world titles? Kelly Slater comes along and, you know, he's looking for world title number 12, 54 victories. That's, you know, you could pretty much say that will never be matched. I mean, that's just, maybe not in our lifetime anyway.
Well, we see Medina still back, holding that deep position. Kelly's looking the other direction towards the channel. Kelly does have first priority, but he's just been laying in the prone position through that first restart and calming himself down. There's always been the amazing stories in professional surfing history with Kelly, how he likes to sing in heats. He'll talk about golf with his competitors. What's Kelly doing now?
Well, Kelly and Gabriel not notoriously friendly in the heats. You know, John, they probably were exchanging words, going, how amazing is this, blah, 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 blah. But with Gabriel's all about the business, you know, and you see Gabriel before he paddles out, he sits there, he has a bit of a moment, gets himself in the zone, You can see not buying into Kelly's game. Kelly likes to splash the water a bit, you know, just sort of gets him in the zone, takes his mind off everything that's happening, tries to eliminate too much going through his head, and that way when that wave does come through, he's nice and calm. He can think slow and make the right decisions.
Well, Kelly now on the inside, needing to better the 7-9 that Medina posted on the opening strike. They're both starting to move around a bit. Slow motion on the sets at the moment after this restart, but the ocean surface still nice and glassy. Beautiful conditions for the final. $100,000 goes to the winner, but the crucial 10,000 points. This is Kelly's first final of the year, and he'll glide in and hold back. He'll lose priority.
Wow, a little too deep there for Kelly Slater. Wave number 2, Gabriel Medina. Is he going to be in the right spot? He's paddling, he's having a look. Oh, Gabriel Medina on a bomb.
As he free falls, surviving the spin right in front of the foam ball. A wave with a ton of size and power shoves Medina into the channel. We see the priority mistake from Slater. Medina already able to get a second scoring ride.
Wow, Kelly doesn't make too many mistakes like that. I think he's still trying to come down from that heat with John Florence, that battle between him, as we see Charlie giving Gabriel a bit of a clap saying, come on, son. 7.90 on Gabriel's opening wave. And let's have a look at Kelly here. Kelly looking at the first wave of the set. You can see kind of a little bit indecisive, pulling back. Would he have made that, Joe? It was a little bit too deep there on that one. So, and then Gabriel Medina, wave number 2. Look at that. Oh, just scratching his way down the face of that wave, standing tall in the barrel, and he comes flying out of that one. So another good wave for Gabriel Medina. Let's have another look at it. Look at this drop right there. You can see Gabriel almost going over the handlebars, using both of those hands in the face of the wave and managing to pull that one off. Gabriel Medina posting another good score. It's going to be better than his opening ride, and he's going to put Kelly in a combo situation straight off the bat, Joe. A
huge drop for Medina. He's able to control it with so much momentum going forward and gets spit out of a cannon. A 9.07 for Medina, a 7.9 before that. With 30 minutes still to go, Kelly Slater comboed as Medina's looking for his 3rd win this season. We have Peter Mel, Big Wave World Champ, in the channel right now. What happened, Pete, from your view on Kelly's priority mistake?
Yeah, well, first let me back up a little bit to, you know, Kelly was stating how he needed to kind of psych up, and you're elaborating, Potts, about the fact that it takes a little bit to, after coming off of that such a crazy heat that he just had in the semifinals, to turn your game over and have 10 minutes or so to figure out a strategy against Gabriel Medina. Obviously, he's going to be able to do that with taking all the experiences that he's had over the years and bringing it to this table right now. But then again, a little glitch right there, right? I mean, he looked over the edge. You know, he wanted that wave, but it had a little bit of a crease and a corner to it. Decided to not go, and sure enough, there was another wave. And how do you know that there's another wave? Gabriel, on the other hand, that was a bigger wave, you know, and he had to man up. Knowing Kelly's right there looking at it just as much, he had to turn and go on it. Did everything he could to make the wave, got the 9.07 in the early lead.
Now, Peter, is it slowing down out there at the moment? I mean, there's still some good waves coming through, but is it slowing down? Is it going to be harder for Kelly to make a comeback like he did against John?
Well, you know, I think that we just have to wait and see as we see Kelly going now.
Kelly Slater, big pump. He's not grabbing the rail. Another big drive over the foam ball. The wave spits without him. And Kelly goes down on his effort to try to come back. It'll be a small score. A much different start than his last heat when he had the perfect 10.
Yeah, just a little bit of a different start, but you know what, Kelly's a very experienced competitor as he just squeezes under that wave there, and you can see that thing just rip the board out of his hands. That's the power of this wave, guys, and that wasn't even a big one. You can see Kelly just getting smashed around in there. Now that was like a pretty much a medium-sized wave. Kelly ducked underneath that thing, and just the power just tore the board out of Kelly's hands. So Kelly's got to take in some deep breaths. That's the first real wipeout he's had in this event. You know, same with Gabriel. Both these guys have been conserving energy. They haven't dropped the heat this entire event, so in probably the best condition right now. Big sets coming through. Gabriel Medina could really turn the screws on Kelly right now. Bombs coming through.
The channel going crazy. Medina commits. Clean drop. Wide open pit. The wave explodes, and he comes out again. 3 great completions. He kicks out with some speed, and he puts his head down in the priority race to try to control the next exchange.
Wow. You know, we're talking about that, you know, coming out of the wave. You know, don't do those big flyaway kickouts. Don't claim too much. Just get on your board and get back out there, because I tell you what, priority's proven really important as we see Gabriel just standing in that barrel. One of the bigger waves we've seen Gabriel on this event, so he's really showing the world he's not scared. You know, everyone's saying, well, the kid's good in little waves. Well, let me tell you what, guys, this guy has got game here at Teahupo'o, charging and getting another bomb. 7.9 on his opening ride, a 9.07 on his second wave. And look at this one. This is going to be another good score for Gabriel Medina.
Perfect composure when the channel's erupting. Wow. And Medina is able to stomp the drop and get deep in the barrel. That'll be his third scoring ride, and he was able to paddle back out with all that momentum and regain priority to control the next exchange. Kelly in a bit of trouble just with the 2.17 comboed at the moment. All the highlights have been for Medina. Speaking of highlights, we'll get caught up with the desk with Ronnie Blakey, Strider, and Aki.
Cheers, Joe. Well, a big strategy change up from Gabriel Medina, getting himself on some bigger waves in this heat and getting an early lead on Kelly Slater. Amazing to think that Gabriel was just 6 years old when Kelly won one of the first World Tour events here in Tahiti, and obviously Kelly had already bagged a world title the year before Gabriel was born. But Slater, what's he got to do to get back in this heat off?
Yeah, Pete got a really good point going, that after that semi it was a climax. He's got to, you know, just do a reset, you know, because he fell. That was the first time he fell. And we know he can do it. There's 25 minutes, but after that, you get 10s and high 9s, and then where do you go from there, kind of thing. So, yeah, can I just give a quick shout out to everyone at home on Field TV? My boss, Adam, just texted me, and everyone's glued at Fox Sports watching this. Not getting a whole lot of work done, so enjoy it. And one more, everyone at Rainbow Bay. It's Snapper Board Riders' 50th anniversary coming up soon at Rainbow Bay Surf Club. So, yeah, Strider. Sorry about that.
Well, back onto the heat. These guys are going at it. Gabriel Medina stepped it up like we all wanted him to, and he came to the table and he got two of the biggest, best waves that he's gotten so far in the event so far. I mean, those waves were incredible. That last wave just sticking to the wall, stuck the drop. I mean, a 9.4. I mean, he's just killing it out there. You know, interestingly enough, he capitalized on Kelly Slater's mistake. It was like all of a sudden he got the taste of blood, and he just jumped right in there and just got right back on it and then just went to town.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though, because Kelly Slater, we've seen him turn around heats in the final stages of clashes here before. I remember a victory against Bruce Irons back in the day. Kelly needed 2 near-perfect rides, got himself a perfect 10, backed it up with a high 9, and got himself into the final and went on to win the event. Yeah,
it's not over by any means. There's 24 minutes left. We just need some big sets. You know Kelly's going to go anything that comes his way right now. So, yeah, he's hasn't got priority, though. Gabriel's got priority, but he's really surprised me. He's just charged a couple bombs.
Well, the interesting fact for us is that Kelly pulled back on that wave in the early stages of the heat, Joe.
That's true, Ronnie, and you bring up a really big point when you look back at that historical moment with Kelly's comeback against Bruce. There, that one heat, he did that layback to recovery, and at the time, heard Kai Otten reference that wave as one of the most historical comebacks in pro surfing, on just the ability to pull off a miracle. He's done it time and time again. We've kind of rewritten the script on historical moments because everything's been outdone in this event. Right now, an 18.51 doesn't seem that severe of a combination to come back from.
Not when Kelly's been posted 90-plus points since round number 3. You know, he's been constantly putting 19-plus two-wave totals on the board. So, you know, just a bit of a slow start, a little bit of a different approach, and, you know, Kelly's not going to be too flustered just yet. Gabriel Medina, though, he's definitely stepped up. That 9.43 on that last wave, Joe, it was crazy how easy he made that drop. It was like very similar to the way Owen Wright's been approaching it, just sliding in ever so easily, just making those steep drops look really, you know, easy in and getting nicely barreled. So Gabriel Medina showing that he's not scared.
And the theme continues for Medina. Hasn't taken a serious beating all the way to the final in massive conditions. He's been so effective getting the first wave of every heat that he battles in. If any competitor questions that move, he'll end up beating them again by getting them out of their normal rhythm. Started off with a 7.9 in this heat. Now Kelly Slater making a move without priority, decides to pull back.
Yeah, that one just not really what he's looking for. You know, he's looking for waves close to the perfect range. I mean, he's, you know, 9-plus rides. He needs a 9.5, and he needs big scores. Gabriel Medina, here he goes.
Gabriel locks in right in front of Kelly. Big pump. Still driving. Medina gets blown out of his 4th tube in the final. He can't stop smiling. Everything's going his way. Remember, he's world number 1, looking to gain some serious ground in the world title race.
I'll tell you what, if he wins this, he's going to have 3 wins on the board going into events that he's done really well in the past. So, and this, you know, this event's going to give Gabriel Medina so much confidence going into Pipeline as well. I mean, you know, he's already had good results at Pipeline. Let's have a look at the replay here as he slides into yet another barrel. You can see him pumping, driving through that wave, and he comes flying out with a spit. So another good wave for Gabriel Medina. Is that going to better his 9.07? Kelly's got to, you know, really click in and find some good waves. Gabriel Medina just having it all his own way at the moment.
Amazing watching the kick out reel from Gabriel Medina, wave after wave. The smile gets bigger and bigger. Scores start to come in for Lasso Medina. Doesn't look like it's going to affect his top 2. The combo stays the same. Let's get the vibe as we look at this wave pop up out the back. Slater commits, holding on to his rail. He's super deep. The wave explodes and Kelly comes out. The comeback is just about to begin for Kelly Slater. The crowd loves it.
Well, there you go. That's what he needed. That's all he needed right there, was to get the ball rolling, was to get that good wave, get 1 good score on the board, reset the button, hit that reset button, you know, get that headspace back to where it was when he had John. Let's have a look at the replay here from the channel as Kelly takes off on a beautiful wave. Nice and deep, and he got really high again, as Oki pointed out earlier. Just a different approach to the barrel here from Kelly Slater. This is the view that judges have, and will decide how deep he is right here. Perfect positioning, probably couldn't have got any deeper. You can see as he comes out of that barrel, just directing down the line and kicks out perfectly. Kelly Slater just locked in his best score, and Joe, there's still some bombs out there. Kelly's just started his comeback.
Love the angle here coming from the point on land. You can see how this goes below sea level and gets exploded into the channel. A tougher start, starting out of rhythm, losing priority, falling on his first wave at a 2.17, and now the comeback begins. Gabriel's low score is a 9.07. Kelly's hope is that he gets at least that to come back at this stage.
It's going to be close. You know, I think that is going to go into the 9-point range for sure. I mean, that was a bigger wave. You know, he did everything right, and taking into consideration the scores he was getting in his last heat, that was very similar to the waves that he was getting in the semi-finals against John.
Well, we have another wave popping up. They'll let this one go through. Rosie Hodge is out in the channel. How'd that one look for you, Rosie?
Wow, Joe, I don't think today could get any better. You can just hear the noise in the channel, and we see the lines approaching. So the boys, you know, this is the Gabriel Medina is having a dig here, so we're going to give it back to you for more live
action. Here we go, Rosie. Medina looks down the edge, free falls. One big pump. The wave explodes him out into the channel. All glory moment for the young Brazilian. The current #1 in the world is making this wave his skate park. He can do anything, standing tall in barriers, big flyaway kickouts. Rosie, where are you putting that one up on the scale?
Are you kidding me? I mean, these guys are going wave for wave. That getting spat out of that one, I don't know. That could have bettered his second scoring ride, but Gabriel Medina has taken such control of this heat after Kelly made that priority mistake, but Kelly fought back there. So, you know, this heat is just getting way too exciting. In the channel, the vibe is incredible. There's a rainbow, there's rain, there's sunshine. It's so beautiful at the moment.
As we're looking at a replay from the front on view, Pods, how'd you like that composure?
Well, Rosie's right. That was amazing. You know, these guys are absolutely going to town. Let me tell you something right now. That was a crazy drop, a bigger wave for Gabriel Medina, showing he's not scared, standing tall in the barrel. It wasn't a deep one, but I tell you what, about as critical as it gets out here at Teahupo'o. Kelly Slater, 9.63. Let's have a look at this again as Gabriel Medina just free falls out of the sky, right down the mine shaft, and then really just pulls it up underneath that lip and standing tall there. Gabriel Medina showing the world that this kid is not just an air master, he can charge with the best of them. Scores dropping for Medina, a 9.53. Kelly Slater, a 9.63. Kelly back in the heat, needing a 9.33. This heat is on, Joe.
Well, just a reference, Kelly Slater has 2 waves, but he has the best wave of the heat. A 9.63 is better than Gabriel's 9.53. It's in that similar scale. Remember how close the heat was with John Florence? It came down to a tie break. We're looking at a similar situation. Kelly now needs a 9.33, 17:30 on the clock, and Kelly holding priority at the moment. We're seeing a couple of lulls so far, so it's kind of stretching this heat out and making it feel a little bit more dramatic as we dive into the story with Gabriel Medina. Just his 4th year on tour, 4 CT wins out of 7 finals. This is his 8th final of his career, and his highest rank was 7th in the world when he was battling in that Rookie of the Year race back with John Florence. Came back and finished in the top 10.
You know, this kid's, well, he's ranked #1 in the world, so he's really learning the game quick. Proving to the world that, you know, he's not just got that small wave prowess. He's really good in the big stuff. He's learning it. He's getting bigger and stronger. He's getting better at his game. He's becoming more and more of a complete surfer, showing the world that he could take it out on his backhanded snapper. One of the first guys to win it in a very long time since Mick Lowe. You know, very hard wave to surf on your backhand, showing that, you know, he's got what it takes there. And not only there, but he's then gone on to cloud break 1 there. And I tell you what, he's in pretty good position right now. Kelly Slater needing a 9.33. That's a walk in the park for Kelly out here in these kind of conditions.
Well, we look back on the way Medina started in world #1 back on the Gold Coast. He shocked himself by winning that contest. He was a little bit injured, and he actually didn't really rate himself to take everyone out. That's changed since then. He's now taking on that confident role of being the #1 in the world. Whistles cheering on Slater now. Needs a 9.33 here as he lets go of the rail. Back to the rail grab. High line above the foam ball. And he ends up going over the handlebars. He did the hard work, went so high, he couldn't come back down.
Yeah, Kelly just a little too high there. Maybe took a little bit too much of a high line as he pushes through that one. He's okay, he's back out, but tell you what, that could have been a good score for Kelly Slater, and you know, you can see as he was using his fingers there just to show you how close he was to making that. Let's have a look at this wave for Kelly Slater, using his priority, sliding in as he always does, perfect line, drawing that thing, and you can see just getting caught a little bit high there, and as he comes down, his balance was a little bit off. As we have a look at the view that the judges had. Look at this wave. It is absolutely pumping out here right now. It's been like this all day long. And Kelly just going down there, really crucial part of the wave. You need to pull that off. That's going to come in around about in the 5-point range, and Kelly's going to have to go back to the drawing board. Still looking for a 9.33, Joe, just under 15 on the clock. And what an exciting day of surfing we've had.
Well, we're having this rare moment watching Kelly go down on a couple of big opportunities. Current world #6, that'll be changing after this result. 54 career CT wins, 11-time world champion, won this event back in 2000, 2003, 05, and also in 2011, the Code Red year. He had a much different role in that event, wasn't making the highlight reel in the first few rounds, saved everything for the finals day. This event, though, he started off with perfection, dominated round 1, the first heat of the day, and now showing some signs of a couple of mistakes. We'll dive back into that story and the final right after this.
Introducing Orbitz Rewards, the instant approach. Earn rewards in an instant, redeem in an instant. Book a flight, use rewards for the hotel. Book the hotel, use them to stay longer. Think reward, redeem, relax, repeat. Orbitz Rewards, instant vacation gratification.
If I need to drop the big one, if I need to, I will go, you know. I'm pretty stoked to be in the final, you know. I'm looking forward to put a great show.
I think I got to go psych myself back up and realize I still got to surf.
The class that we've been waiting for coming to life here at the Billabong Pro Tahiti. World number 1, 20-year-old Gabriel Medina facing off against the best of all time. Kelly Slater, current number 6 in the world, has a 9.63, needing a 9.33 to come back. He got a 5.0 on a wave that he almost made, took a high line, and went over the falls right as he was about to escape. Joe Trappell alongside former world champ Martin Potter. As we look at this situation, has anything changed for Kelly? Are you surprised that he's in this situation right now?
No, not at all. You know, I knew Gabriel was going to come and bring his game. I knew Gabriel was going to post a bunch of 9s, and that's exactly what's happened. Kelly's just got to recalibrate. I think he's still getting over the little bit of a hangover from that semi-final with John. You know, there was so much emotion. There was so much going on in that heat, and you know, those are the kind of heats that Kelly really embraces. He's hit the reset button. He's posted the highest single score, 9.63. He's just got to settle down. Gabriel's got priority. He needs to make sure that his next wave is up into that high 9-point range and put the pressure on Gabe, because so far in this event, Gabriel's had it all his own way. No one's really ruffled his feathers.
Well, now thinking about the numbers, since we have 11 minutes to go, let's see how Gabriel Medina got out in front of this one, because he started off with the first wave just like he traditionally does. We'll watch this first one unload right out front. No takers on the inside. Medina holding priority at the moment to control this next set. They're looking calm and letting that one roll through. But we had Medina with that quick start, and looks like he's still anticipating the set to come through, Potts.
Well, have a look at this. Gabriel Medina with priority. 10.5 minutes remaining. As both surfers looking, is Gabriel going to use his priority? He's paddling, he's got to go, he's committed. A late drop.
And he drives big pumps, he's super deep. The foam ball picks up his board, and Medina has gone down for the first time in this final. A rare moment to see him down, and now Kelly on the next one. He'll slide and control it into the pit. A beautiful round wave. He controls the finish onto the shoulder to make sure he completes that effort.
Come on!
Wow, well, there we go. Kelly Slater, advantage on that exchange. He needs a big score. He needs a 9.33, but really, Joe, he needs something up in the, you know, plus, a 9+, 9.8, 9.9, somewhere around there. Gabriel Medina, first wipeout so far that he's taken. This is his first little run around into the channel, so he's going to be a little bit rattled because he hasn't experienced this yet, Joe. This is his first real go down. Let's have a look. Nice and deep, and he said in his post preheat, if the big ones come, I'm going to go, and that's exactly what he did, pulling in deep on that one, getting absolutely munched. So Gabriel Medina taking really his first donuts of the event, and Kelly Slater right behind, making him pay for it on a beautiful little wave as he pulls up nice and tight. It wasn't a big, open, gaping barrel, but have a look at that. Kelly Slater hanging on. Is that going to go into the 9-point range, Joe? 9 minutes remaining. Kelly is going to get back out into the lineup and get priority. Side slipping down the face of the wave. Perfect technique from the 11 times world champion. And it's going to be touch and go whether that will go into the 9-point range, Joe.
Just ensuring completion on the exit. A beautiful read for Kelly Slater to pose a comeback. Medina had to wear that wave on the head as well, as he saw the jet ski pick him up on the back of the sled. They ripped his leash off. They always want the leash off so it doesn't get tangled around the reef when they step on the gas. They have to reroute around the lagoon, around the buoys, and back to the channel. With this happening, Kelly's able to get priority back, and he has the lineup to himself.
About 30 seconds, that's all it takes. These guys are absolutely flying. And the downside is that for Medina is that was his first incomplete ride and his first trip through the lagoon. So maybe a little bit ruffled. Maybe his feathers might have got ruffled on that. Maybe a little bit of different headspace for Medina. Still waiting for scores for Kelly to be locked in. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Is that wave going to get Kelly into #1 spot and make Gabriel Medina fight back? He's had it all his own way so far this event, Joe. Can Kelly put himself in that position right now?
Well, we've got Peter Mel on the channel, and we just had Gabriel Medina maybe take his first wipeout of this whole event. How did his wipeout compare to a lot of the heavy ones you've seen today?
Well, he went deep, right? He knew that he had to go deeper than he's been getting, just because he's got to get those bigger scores and, you know, pushing the limits. He's going bigger in this heat too, going on the set waves. which is what he's got to do. This to me feels like he's fighting for the world title right now in this heat against Kelly Slater. Kelly Slater obviously has the best record going through. He has all those thirds and fifths, but needs a win. And right now this is where Gabriel has to stamp his approval on this year to take this title, and this is what this heat really means to him right now. So he knows that.
A lot of intensity, Pete, and we could hear the channel erupting. Are the fans going one direction in this heat, or does Gabe and Kelly have some support out there?
Absolutely, both of them have support. It's great. They're actually just they're enjoying the show. I don't think they even care really who wins. It's just surfing wins and the fans win.
Well, thanks a lot, Pete. Beautiful rainbow behind you, and bombs setting up this final. Insane scoreline already with a 9.43 and a 9.53 from Gabriel Medina. Last of Kelly Slater, an 8.97. Still in second. They want more. He needs a 9.33 to turn this final, Potts.
Well, that's the thing. When you've done what Kelly's done through this entire event, the judges are going to get a lot more critical. They want to see that. They want to see those big, deep barrels. They want to see him draw that high line over the foam ball. They want to see him take off on the big bombs. So, Kelly's going to have to go deeper, bigger to get that 9.33.
He does still have first priority, but let's start thinking about the numbers. He had 10,000 points for a win, 8,000 for a runner-up. This is Kelly's first final this season. That sounds shocking, but you see coming in number 6 in the world, just one throw away with that 13th at Jeffreys Bay, compared to Medina, where he has a 13th and a 9th already. He doesn't, he's obviously has another final appearance. Medina and Kelly squeezing those points towards this world title race.
3 wins last year and didn't win the world title. A lot more consistent this year. Kelly was throwing 13ths and 25ths away last year. I mean, he was counting some bad results, and you've got to mix in some really consistent results with the odd win here and there. And I think this is Kelly's chance to maybe try and get that win. Still looking for a 9.33 though, an 8.97 on that last one. 2 judges gave him a 9, one gave him a 9.2, and 2 in the high 8-point range. So Kelly, with 5 minutes to go, the pointy end of the finals. Gabriel Medina hanging on by the skin of his teeth. And you can see him now just scratching his head saying, wow, now I know what the big fuss is about. I finally had my first big wave on the head and that first trip through the lagoon.
And he charged that last wave at 2.83. His 5 waves previous, nothing under a 7.9. Medina, they call him the freak kid. That's his signature model from Pukas. And you can see that freakish talent that he has at such a young age, surfing against his hero. So Blakey was on the desk earlier saying how Medina wasn't even born during Kelly's first world title, and you can see how he's been watching Kelly throughout his childhood, but he doesn't back down when it comes to big moments like this. We'll get some more insight on the desk with Ronnie, Aki, and Strider.
Cheers, Joe. Yeah, an incredible final unfolding. You've got to admire Gabriel's ability, to just ramp things up, and he really has paced himself well through this draw and saved his best to last, and he's needed to because he's up against Kelly.
Absolutely, Ronnie. He's so young, but he just amazes me, like he knew what he had to do. He knew he had to get the big ones against Kelly, and he went straight out there and done it.
Yeah, we were wondering if he was going to change up his game plan, and he did, and he just stuck to the back corner there and just went for the big ones. And you know what? Kelly's got a little bit of time left. We'll see if he can pull a rabbit out of the hat here in the end.
Just over 3.5 minutes remaining. He's chasing a 9.33 in his previous 4 heats. He's done that and more. So let's see if Kelly Slater, a 4-time winner here in Tahiti, can get back into the lead.
Thanks, Ronnie, Aki, and Strider. Just a few minutes on the clock. Kelly needs that 9.33 to come through, and the ocean's looking flat. We've seen some heroic moments over the last 2 decades where Kelly will start splashing the water, singing to himself. Sometimes dolphins pop up like at Jeffreys Bay, and he'll follow them up the point, and a wave will pop up. They talk about those guys that are insane on tour, guys like Tom Curran back in the day. He used to say he was able to will waves on demand when he needed it the most. Will Kelly get that same connection with the ocean right now?
I'd love to see both these guys get another roll of the dice. I want to see Kelly have one more shot at it, and maybe Gabriel as well. We see some big sets coming through out the back. There's plenty of time, so these guys are going to get another roll of the dice. 2.5 minutes remaining. Exciting stuff here. Kelly needs to he needs to let it all hang out this next wave, Joe.
He sure does. You can see the difference in the ocean texture out the back. It goes off this steep shelf, and the water is just dark and creepy and sucks up off the reef. Right now, Kelly is just composing himself. He knows he needs something massive. He might only get one more chance to take out Medina. Kelly going for his first win of the season, and Medina trying to get his third win with now 2 minutes remaining.
Here we go. Everyone's starting to whistle and yell. Kelly Slater,
he's
here
digging in spots. Looks like Kelly going over the ledge, a big drop. He controls it, no grab. On the foam ball, the wave spits, and Kelly goes down on a huge opportunity to turn this heat. No doubt that would have been the score to turn it. A minute 45, and Medina lets go a big sigh of relief.
That was a 10. Had Kelly come through that, we were looking at straight 10 points right there for sure. That was insane from Kelly Slater. He knows it too. He was right there. Another foot or two, and he was coming out of that. Have a look at this drop. I mean, first of all, he had to make that. That was insane right there. Just pulls it up really high, driving through that section. Right now, he's trying to climb up and over that white water. Right there, it just loses his fins. The board gets sucked away from his feet and goes down. Look at that drop there from Kelly Slater. Just the ability to be able to get up and into that barrel was just bar none. Some crazy talent right there. Kelly Slater driving through that barrel, and just right there as that wave unleashed, he went down. So, wow, that was close to being an absolutely perfect wave, Joe.
And now we're down to 53 seconds. Gabriel Medina still out in front, holding priority. He's been changing the game. The first Brazilian to win Snapper Rocks this year. First Brazilian to win the Fiji Pro. He's world #1. He wants to be the first Brazilian to win a world title. The crowd's going crazy.
Here we
There's
go.
more waves coming, Potts.
Don't you love it? It looks like a two-wave set too. 30 seconds to go. Maybe both guys are going to get an opportunity. Kelly going the first one.
Late takeoff. He grabs the rail to slide. Super deep. Kelly still driving. He comes out, shrugs his shoulders, asking the crowd what they think of that performance. Next wave, Medina's going to let go, and now it's going to come down to that final wave for Slater. Is it enough? A 9.33 to turn this heat.
Medina let him go. Medina had priority. That was a really, I tell you what, an Iceman-like situation for Gabriel Medina to have the nerve, to have the confidence to look at that wave and say, there's no way Kelly's going to get the score. Gabriel let him have it, gave Kelly that last opportunity, and now it is in the judges' hands. 9.33 required by Kelly Slater. If he doesn't get it, well, Gabriel Medina will win his third event of the season and extend his lead in that world title race.
Some huge scenarios to follow. Medina and Kelly shake this one out, congratulating each other on pushing themselves back and forth. Kelly almost had a perfect 10, fell with 30 seconds on the clock. One more wave, a late decision. Medina didn't go, and Kelly got one more wave that's still yet to be scored. Let's take another look.
All right, well, this is the one Medina let go. Kelly sliding down into it, the thing unleashing. Kelly pulls up nice and tight, disappears in that white water there, and comes out and says, well, that's as good as I could have done on that wave. And is it going to be enough? It is in the judges' hands right now. Both guys, I tell you what, we take our hats off to you both. You both just absolutely charged. Gabriel Medina stepped up to the challenge. Everyone said this kid can't charge in big waves. Well, he just proved the world wrong right there.
That's right, another score that we're waiting for. The final heat is over time-wise, but Kelly has one more number to lock in. The judges don't have to wait for another heat to follow, so they'll take their time. Look at the replays. Compare the last couple of tube rides that they've scored. They remember that Medina has a 9.43. Kelly needs a 9.33, less than that, to turn this heat.
Tell you what, that 3.40 on his last wave, the wave before that last one, that was a 10, Joe. That he had the opportunity, just a little bit too deep. Kind of, you know, when you watched his bottom turn, he's a little bit, his body was a little bit off balance. Maybe that was the key right there. Had he come out of that one, it was a no-brainer on the scoreline. Kelly would have definitely got it, but not to be. And we're still waiting for that last score to come through right now. We can hear Kelly.
So already Pete right next to Kelly. Go ahead and take it, Pete.
I would, except for there's a nice massive set coming and we're kind of inside.
All right, be safe, Peter.
No, I got him right here.
Okay, good.
Just making sure, you know, getting over the top here. Hey, Kelly, real quick, just since we are live now and paddling out of the way, incredible final. I mean, we talked about that one wave there that was almost through. We haven't had the score yet, but
yeah, that was my best one of the contest, but made that one. That would have done it easily. That last one was pretty good. It was kind of slow, but it was a really nice wave. So we'll see. I was baffled he let me go. I couldn't believe he looked at it. No, but I don't know. We'll see. The waves are incredible. It was a little slow in our heat, but that was amazing. Super fun. And you know, great surfing by all the guys all week. There's so many guys inspire me, just charging, and you know, Gabe in that final win a couple good sized ones. There was one I was like, oh, hopefully he gets too far out, and he was in the spot for it. I was bummed, but it was fun. I made a paddle mistake early in that heat, and it set the tone for him to get his first real good one. So my bad.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the judges are thinking. Is there any inclination of what the scores are right now?
Yeah, something.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking these guys.
I got it or I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, nothing yet, Pete.
Yeah, and they're looking at replays, obviously.
Yeah, they're probably looking at two waves and make their decision.
Wow.
We'll see.
Pete Mel,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
9.2, 9.4, 9.3.
So 2 under, 3 under. It's going to be very close.
Very close.
Oh my goodness.
It's a 9.30, not enough.
9.30, not enough.
Kelly Slater second. Gabriel Medina is your 2014 Billabong Pro Tahiti champion. He's about to get the message right now.
And I paddled for one I shouldn't have paddled for, and I lost priority, and that was it. F-bomb.
There it is, folks. Gabriel Medina is your winner.
A huge moment for the young Brazilian, just 20 years of age, taking out the best of all time, the best in Teahupo'o history, and looking at the numbers, an 18.96 total to an 18.93 total. A huge one there, a split panel on the decision. Take it away, Pete.
Nah, I let him have a moment.
So Kelly rinsing that one off real quick here as Gabriel starts to celebrate, breaking all the records, proving himself in waves of consequence, surfing against the world's best, proving that he is a true world #1 at this stage, Potts.
Well, you look at that last wave from Kelly. 2 judges gave it to him, 3 judges didn't. And the 3 that didn't were just under. The 2 that did were just over. So it came out 0.03 under the score. That's about as close as you can get. That's the second really close heat that Kelly's had today. One with John in the semi-finals where it went his way, and in the finals with Gabriel Medina where it went against him. So really feel for him, but at the end of the day, Kelly's back on track. He's surfing incredibly well. He's got really consistent results, puts him back in the world title race, Joe, and he's got to be happy with that.
A huge one for Gabriel Medina, now taking his 3rd win of the season. Already was world #1. He's going to be wearing that yellow jersey, and maybe for a long time. Thinking about lowers, he's won there at the prime level. He's won in France. He's made the final in Portugal. Those are all the events to come here on the Samsung Galaxy ASP World Championship Tour. Our 2014 Billabong Pro Tahiti champion, Gabriel Medina.
Yep, and not to mention the fact that this event is going to give him so much more confidence going into Hawaii at the end of the year, because Pipeline is going to feel like a walk in the park to what he's just been through this week.
Amazing record here as Kelly Slater makes another final out here at Teahupo'o, his first final of the season. We talked about how he was outside the top 5 picture. You can see why Pete gave him a little space. Going that close, surfing waves like this and coming up just short has to sting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to sting. It's got to hurt. But, you know, Kelly's been on both ends of that stick. He knows exactly what he's got to do now. And you know, the thing that with Kelly is those things fire him up. You know, realize how close he came. You know, he's not going to let that happen again as we'll head down to Rosie, Joe.
Oh, how good that was. I don't think you do, because...
Rosie, let's hear about that winning feeling.
Gabriel Medina, I mean, you've ticked so many boxes right now, silenced a lot of critics, winning the Billabong Pro Tahiti, flawless, massive conditions, and beating Kelly Slater. Talk us through your win.
I already know what to say, you know. I was going to that heat, and then I went home to talk to my mom, and the words she said to me inspired me. She said, no one is bigger than God, and I trust in God, and I think that was him, you know. I'm so blessed to have these conditions at Chopes, and to surf against all these guys, you know. a big fan of everyone, and I don't know what to say. You know, I'm so happy right now.
Gabriel, so proud of you. Obviously, your family is so impressed. But, you know, we were saying earlier you did take that one wipeout, and that's pretty much the only wipeout that you had the entire event. Just talk to us about that experience, too, just that happening in the final with all the pressure on you.
Yeah, I just did a mistake, you know. I thought that was it, you know. I know Kelly, he's I don't know what to say, he's a legend of surfing. And he knows what he's doing. And when I fell off, I felt I had lost that heat, you know. And I don't know, as I say, that was God. Thanks God, thanks Mom, thanks my family, sponsors. I'm so happy right now.
You know, when I usually speak to you, you're so cool, calm, and collected, and you just have, you know, you always have a mission in your mind. But right now, you're so emotional. Just tell us about that winning feeling.
It's the best feeling ever. Win, the waves were just perfect and big too, and this feeling is amazing. I don't know, this crying is just because I love surfing. I love what I'm doing right now, and to get these waves was unbelievable.
Okay, and obviously there's a lot of people that are here. Your dad's here to support you, all the water patrol, the people that worked on the event. Who do you want to thank and give a massive shout out to? Yeah,
I want to thank ASP to put this event on here. This way, I love more now this wave. Yeah, thanks for the water patrol to keep us safe, and all the judges, all the is working on SP, you know. Thanks guys, you guys are doing a good job, and I'm really happy to be part of this. And yeah, can you say some in Portuguese? Obrigado a todo mundo que está assistindo. Tô super feliz agora. Tenho certeza que um monte de brasileiro viu e tô amarradão de ter representado o Brasil. Queria mandar um abraço pro Teahupo'o que tá me assistindo aí, toda a galera, Pedrinho, Camaras, Murilinho, todo mundo que tá aí, o PC, a galera de Maresias, minha mãe, e tem um monte de pessoa para agradecer, mas obrigado a todo mundo, tô muito feliz agora e essa é para nós.
Well, huge congratulations to Gabriel Medina, Kelly Slater. What a performance. Back to you, Joe. This has been an amazing event and day.
We are right there with you, Rosie. Incredible words from Gabriel Medina, showing emotion for the first time. And Rosie was spot on with that feeling. He comes into every event so determined to win, and nothing is going to stand in his way. And for the first time, letting it all go at the end of an amazing final. Signs of a true champion, Potts.
Unbelievable. I mean, Gabriel Medina didn't put a foot wrong. And, you know, that whole thing of saying, you know, when he wiped out on that one wave, you know, he thought that was it. You know, Kelly Slater was at such a high caliber today that one mistake was all it was going to take. But Gabriel Medina managing to pull that off. Kelly came so close at the end. An unbelievable day of surfing. And, you know, I think the sport itself is the winner. And you guys at home watching, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, guys.
Well, really special to watch. The best ever in history, as we're calling it now. We'll send it home with the boys on the desk for an insane finale. Ronnie, Hockey, Strider, good to see you guys.
Great job, Joe and Potts. What an incredible contest. Gabriel Medina winning his third event for the year, made history on the Gold Coast. First Brazilian winner there. In Fiji, first Brazilian winner there. Not the first Brazilian to win here. Bruno Santos did it back in 2008, but he is the first World Tour competitor Brazilian to have stood at the top come the end of the event, and what a great performance it was. Really peaked in the final.
Yeah, didn't he peak in the final? He charged. He really took it on. Wow, I'm pretty dumbfounded about that whole contest. Kelly said it. I think it's the best contest I've ever seen. That semi between John and Kelly was amazing. And Kelly almost won that final too, Strider. He came so close.
Yeah, it was. You can't win them all, and it was one of those where it was just on the edge. We saw a lot of those waves happen. We saw, you know, Owen. We saw Joel Parkinson. We saw a lot of guys just almost make it out the end, but, you know, almost doesn't count. And Gabriel took it to him. Gabriel just stepped up, and he got some of the most amazing waves in that final. He fell from the sky late. He was pushed to a limit, and you could see it, and it was really great to watch him, you know, take his level, put it up there where it needed to be, and going for it. I mean, just that one wave where he just fell out of the sky was so beautiful, was so great to watch. So hats off to Gabriel Medina, and one of the sickest contests we've ever seen, and I can't wait to see this year finish up and possibly have the first Brazilian world champion.